It looks like Bob's camera is frozen. Oh wait, no, he's there.
But he's still muted. Is there any way to unmute him from your side, Rod?
I think he's gonna do it now. Still muted. Well, looks like we lost the dining room. Both went down.
President of North Carolina Museum Council. So without further ado, Troy Bird. And maybe Paul shared the worst indictment of all, that he and I are related. So I came and spoke to your club a few years ago now, probably more than I care to admit. At that time, we were managing Mordecai Historic Park in Raleigh. Show of hands of anybody that's familiar with Mordecai Historic Park. Several, I think, good. Several of us in the group, and also in Fletcher Park. I don't know those of you familiar with Fletcher Park. Another cool part of our program is we run the Raleigh Trolleys in Raleigh. Has anyone taken a trolley ride while they've been? Oh,
we use it for our dollars wedding. So.
Cool, very good. Also another use of those two sort of mobile facilities that we run. Since that time that I've spoken to you last, our program has grown some. We've added a couple of new sites to our area. One being the City of Raleigh Museum in downtown Raleigh, right on Fayetteville Street. Another being the Tucker House along Person Street, as well as maybe most recently, Ladin University Historic Park, which is right off of Cameron Village on Oberlin, which will be another area that's in our program now that we're going to begin to manage. And what Paul asked us to talk about today, however, was more about our programming and specifically sort of upcoming programming at the holidays. And I was telling the table over here that your group is actually going to get the scoop today. The hottest news off the press, that one of the reasons I was running a little late at your meeting is we were on the phone with some of our downtown friends, including some of our politically elected officials and our city council. And we have decided this year not to move forward with our Holiday Express program at Pullen Park. I don't know, have any of you been to Holiday Express before? Several show of hands. There you go, try that. That's right. Well, as Bill aptly suggests, we did have to cancel it last year for COVID. And this year, it wasn't so much COVID, I was telling the table, but one of the really unfortunate pieces of the pandemic for us, and I think for a lot of industry, not just government, is we had to sort of re-look at how we manage our staff. And specifically, we had to lay off a lot of our staff. And so one of the things that we've done as we've sort of come back into programming and come back into operations, what I would call more normal operations in this year, is we've had a hard time staffing again, hiring more staff. So one of the things that we have to do at Holiday Express, sort of on the front side of it with the public, we have 15,000 people that come over 10 nights, which isn't nearly enough when we open the tickets up. But each one of those nights requires about 140 staff to run. And this year we just realistically, there was just no way we could do it and still be proud of the program and the public be excited about the experience. We were going to have to run essentially kind of a shell program of Holiday Express than what everyone had become accustomed to. So rather than do that, what we decided to do this year, which would be a better sort of event for folks, is we are still going to have parts of Holiday Express throughout the month of December, what we are calling Winter Wednesdays. So that will be on the evenings in December, but not the 10-night sort of extravaganza that was Holiday Express. And so we're, obviously disappointed in that, but we also think that this alternative program that we're planning for December is going to be every bit as fun and as exciting for our participants. And so I brought a slide. I don't know if we can show that, and we can talk about some of those activities we do have coming up in December. And I think if you carry anything away from today and talking about at least my side of the program, and we'll introduce Dorothea Dix, because they are going to do a big event this year for the holidays. I would just encourage you to go to our website, which is raleighnc.gov/museums. And that will list all of the holiday programming we have coming up, because I don't have a handout for you today, but if you write down that website, it'll have on there, and you'll see Pullen Park, what we're calling Pullen Park Holidays this year, beginning December 1st through the 22nd. Every day we will have lights, and the hours will change. And so the public hours for Pullen Park right now are 10 to 6. They will change to 1 till 8. And so we'll be open 2 hours later at night. And every night we will have those lights on display. No ticketing, no sales, no Eventbrite having to call at 6 in the morning. And so it'll be an open walkthrough, self-guided experience at Pullen Park for the holiday lights at night, other than those Winter Wednesdays. And it's probably a little bit hard to see here, but if you just think about every Wednesday night in December at Pullen Park, we're going to be doing a holiday program. And you can, again, at our website, if you want to look at it after Speak Today or sometime later this month, you can look at what those programs are. Also, in another sort of part of our program, at the top right there, the Mordecai Historic Park, those of you that have been, we are going to have our holiday open house again at Mordecai this year. We're going to have our Santa's Trolley again this year, which is a very popular activity. Also another activity that sells out really quickly. So I would encourage you to visit that website and see when those tickets go on sale for the Santa's Trolley, if you're interested in that. Moore Square, that was another one I forgot that is in our program area now that we manage. in downtown Raleigh. They are also having holiday markets on the 3rd and the 4th, and then the 11th and 12th. So those first 2 weekends in December. And there'll be a lot of vendors that'll be out at Moore Square, including music and food, and that'll be a nice place if you're interested in getting gifts and other things for the family. And then the Pope House Museum. I'm mad at myself for forgetting about the Pope House Museum. Has anybody here been to the Pope House Museum? Are you familiar with the Pope House Museum? It's on Wilmington Street. So as you're coming into Raleigh, north off of that's still New Bern Avenue. No, I'm sorry, MLK. When you go north into downtown, it'll be on your right on Wilmington Street. 511 Wilmington Street is the Pope House Museum. And it's Dr. Manasseh T. Pope is the first graduate of the Leonard Medical School at Shaw University. And his home is now open to the public on both Saturdays and Sundays for tours. And they will be doing a special holiday with the Pope's activity again on that also Saturday and Sunday, the first Saturday and Sunday in December. And if you haven't been to the Pope House Museum, that would be a great time to stop by and see it. It is essentially right next, adjacent to Shaw University as you're coming north up Wilmington Street. So that's another place in our program area that will have a holiday activity in December as well. And that's the majority of what we have going on in December with the holidays coming up. Again, I would encourage you to go to our website, raleignc.gov/museums, and that will give you the most up-to-date information about our upcoming holiday programs. And not sure if we had questions.
Do you have any November
Yes, sir.
programs around Thanksgiving?
There are quite a few programs around Thanksgiving. I think maybe the ones after people have eaten lots of turkey and want to just get out of the house for a couple of days. One of our popular ones is on Saturday at Mordecai with the trolley. And we do a downtown tour of all the sites at Mordecai, and that originates at Mordecai, but it goes all around downtown. And that's on the hour on that Saturday. The other sort of things that we have going on in November are generally just our kind of our regular programming, but we do have some some Halloween themed events coming up this next week. And so that site would be a good spot to look for those as well. Yes,
So
sir.
there's a question online. Are you looking for any volunteers for any of these?
Yes. Send me an email directly or call me. Can you, if I give you my card? Yes. Awesome. We're always looking for volunteers, and they can contact me directly. Sorry, Joey. I'm going to take folks that are interested. I would say we have a volunteer coordinator, but then they may volunteer for someone other than us. That's right. So talk to me directly. Other questions, comments? So historic resources and museums, that's our program. If it's over 50 years old, we probably have a stake in it, and not just y'all, but in the city. So,
Are you going to talk about the night of lights?
I am not. Joey Voska, who's the program manager at Dorothea Dix Park, he's going to talk about the Night of Lights. Okay, and so seeing none, I will take that cue and introduce Joey Voska. He's the program supervisor for Dorothea Dix Park with our department, Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Resources. Responsible to oversee park events and day-to-day operations and visitor experience. and got put in this role in 2018.
That's correct.
Although you've been a parks and recreation professional for a long, long time, as am I. When did you start with the department?
2006. So it's
2006.
actually 15 years for me. Later this week.
Wow.
So with the department.
Okay, great. And so with that, I will introduce Joey Vasco.
Thanks for the opportunity to speak with you all this afternoon. Like Troy said, I work at Dixpark for the city of Raleigh. Just by show of hands, anybody been to Dixpark since the city purchased the property? So the city of Raleigh purchased the property from the state of North Carolina in 2015. And I was learning at our table, I think a few years ago, the club had a presentation from Sean Malone at that time, who was over the president at that time of the Dixpark Conservancy. So he's no longer the president. The current president of the Conservancy, who's the city's nonprofit partner, is a person by the name of Janet Cowell, who may sound familiar to you. She's been in local and state government and was hired by the Dixpark Conservancy about 6 months ago to lead that organization. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about the camera. So let me stand here. Am I good? Thank you so much. So Dixpark, like I said, purchased by the city of Raleigh in 2015. And really what's been happening at Dixpark now are kind of two different kind of categories of items. One is thinking about what is the future vision of what Dixpark could become. And the other is activating the current open space that we have at the park to invite people in. So if you think about Dixpark, the campus was a mental health hospital where you were supposed to stay out. There were fences up, don't come onto the property. Park spaces, we want people to come and visit. So we've been working on different activations at the park over the last, 6 years now that the city's owned it, to really start inviting the community in. Say, hey, it's safe to come here. Because Dixpark is 308 acres of property about a mile away from downtown Raleigh. That half of it is about half of it is about open green spaces, where we're able to provide lots of different programs and events. Some of the things you may have heard of that go on at Dixpark is we plant 4.5 acres of sunflowers every year. You've probably heard of the sunflower field. We just got some data back from the Convention Bureau last week. Over 70,000 people visited the sunflower field.
Wow.
And of those 70,000 people, about 25% of them were from outside of the Triangle area. So there is a program that the Convention Bureau uses. It's called Arrivalist, that can track cell phones, where your cell phone is. It feels a little big brother to me. But it can tell that your cell phone was at the sunflower field. And then it can also follow where you're from and what else you do. So we were able to get data that people visited malls and they flew in and out of the airport. We were actually able to tie about $1.4 million of economic impact back to the area of people that came to Dixpark and visited the sunflower field. Kind of wild, right? I saw the data. I was like, this is a little weird for me. So we also do large festivals. You may have heard of some folks attending the Dreamville music concert back in 2019, which is by a local hip hop artist by the name of J. Cole, who grew up in the area of Raleigh. That will be returning in 2022. And some breaking news I can also share, the city of Raleigh's July 4th fireworks celebration will be moving to Dixpark in 2022 as well. So lots of fun things happening at the park. As we're approaching the holiday season, this will be our second annual year of offering an event called Nights of Lights. So back last year when we were kind of in the height of the pandemic, WRAL Capital Broadcasting reached out to the city of Raleigh and said, we would like to do something to give back to the community. We need to figure out something safe, something for people to do, get out of their homes. What if we do a drive-through light show? And hey, Joey, you have 309 acres. Can we do something there? So one of the challenges that we figured out last year was putting a light show that attracts thousands of people to downtown Raleigh creates a little bit of traffic. So we tried to be very strategic with how we sold tickets. In the first couple of nights, we had some traffic issues. Along with the governor at that time, if you remember back in 2020, also instituted a curfew that said you had to be home by 11 p.m., which also messed up our event that went past 10:30. So in those first couple of nights of the event, we really had to step back, see what we could learn about traffic flows and make some tough choices, where we had to refund some tickets and adjust some of our event times to make sure folks were having a great experience. So after those first couple of nights, we made adjustments and we cut traffic times down from hours to minutes, which was a great experience for everyone that attended the event after those first few nights. So in 2021, you can advance the slide. I'll just talk just a couple of updates. So we talked about what Nights of Lights is. It's 1.3 miles in Dixpark. So you can go on to the next slide. So when we're thinking about the 2021 event, we've made some changes from what we learned last year. The first is we reduced the number of vehicles every night. So the number of vehicle tickets that we're selling has been cut in half to ensure that folks are having a great experience and you're only in traffic for a few minutes and not hours, as we experienced for the first couple of nights last year. We had a huge response from the bicycle community last year because we offered an opportunity for you to bring your bicycle out and bicycle through the Nights of Lights event. And we only offered that for a few hours and we sold that out in about a day. So this year we've dedicated 2 full nights to bicycles that you and your family can come and ride a bike through Dixpark, all lit up in holiday lights. And finally, we also had the idea last year that we wanted to do kind of a 5K. So we have so many folks that like to walk and run. So we're actually going to do a 5K through the lights as well, which folks wanted last year, but we couldn't do for COVID. But this year we think we can do some safely. So just some different experiences that you'll have at Nights of Lights this year. To try to replace some of those kind of reducing car numbers, we've extended the length of the event. So the event this year is starting on the Friday after Thanksgiving and running all the way through Christmas Eve. So we added some additional nights just to give the community the opportunity to attend the event. And we've already sold several tickets, but we still have some tickets available. So we're really excited about that. So we can go on to the next slide. So there's kind of a timeline, like I said, starting November 20th, going all the way through Christmas Eve. Go on to the next slide. I've already kind of talked about some of these things. I apologize. So just so if you don't know about Nights of Lights tickets, I'll explain those for a minute. So when you purchase a vehicle ticket to attend Nights of Lights, you purchase a ticket for a 30-minute time slot. So the event runs from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. every evening. So you purchase a time ticket at 6 o'clock or 6:30 or 7 or 7:30 to help us balance out the volume of people coming all at once. What people decided to do last year is my ticket was at 8 o'clock, but I came at 5:30 anyway, which also helped with some of the traffic issues that we had. So we're going to be really strict this year of you have to come when your ticket time is. So you can see some of the prices there. Might be a little hard to read. One of the things I always tell people is when you buy that vehicle ticket, stack everybody up in your life that you're okay being in a car with and come on to the event. So we're not going to count heads. So it's, again, you're buying a ticket for the vehicle, so bring everyone and come enjoy the holiday event at Dixpark. You can move on to the next slide. That's just a general map. So if you're familiar where Central Prison is off of Western Boulevard, the main entrance to Dixpark is right across the street. That's where vehicles will enter the event. One of the other things we've changed this year is there's going to be a dedicated entrance for VIP ticket holders. So if you want to purchase a VIP ticket, you'll have a special entrance to come in so you can avoid all the other vehicle traffic, which is some feedback we heard last year as well. You can move on to the next slide. Thank you. One of the other things that Nights of Lights is really proud about is we do a lot of community outreach. So we've identified 25 different local groups and nonprofits, and we provide free vehicle tickets to those groups so they can thank and give something back to essential volunteers and other people in their organizations. So we donate, like I said, over 1,000 tickets to groups that they can then give out to people that are essential to their organization. We also work with the Wake County Public School System and all the local hospitals, Wake Med, Duke Raleigh Hospital, and Rex. We provide them a good amount of tickets as well. I think it's 250 per organization that those employees can come as well, just again, as a thank you for all they do for our community. Go to the next slide. The other aspect we've added this year is something called Christmas Tree Lane. So we're encouraging local businesses, local groups, and nonprofits to decorate a Christmas tree as part of the event. So there'll be a part of the route that has Christmas trees that'll be donated by local organizations. And then we'll put signage out and kind of say, this tree was decorated by this organization, this was decorated by this organization. There's just an opportunity to invite those organizations to be a part of the event. So that's a new aspect that you'll see this year. So I think that's it. So I'll be happy to answer any questions about Nights of Light specifically, or just about what's going on at Dixpark in general. So, and like I said, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you all this afternoon. Yes, sir.
So the tickets on sale now?
The tickets are on sale now. So if you go to wral.com/lights, there's links there on how to purchase tickets. Yes, ma'am.
And for the bike night, do you have the bikes there or do you bring your own bike?
You bring your own bikes. Although we're talking with Citric Cycle, if you're familiar with the Citric Cycles now, to see if we can get some of those bikes there. So if someone doesn't have access to a bike, that they could use one of those Citric Cycle bikes.
The path is heated, right?
The path is not. But who knows? With the way winters in North Carolina are now, I remember last year in 2020, we had to cancel the event on Christmas Eve because of thunderstorms. I don't know if anybody remembers last year, we had a severe line of weather roll through on Christmas Eve in 2020. I never would have thought we would have canceled. We talked about snow plans. We had to cancel due to severe weather. So who knows with North Carolina weather now. Any other questions about the event?
Comment. Thank you so much for taking care of that traffic. I was one of the person.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I hope you got the invitation that we sent out, that we sent everyone free tickets that were affected. So I hope you received that information. But yes,
So
we
there's,
Go ahead.
there's one question online. How is the fundraising progressing for the Dixpark renovation, or any other updates that you want to provide?
Sure. So just some other general park updates. The big project that we're working on at Dixpark right now is called the Play Plaza. It is going to be an 18-acre combination of play equipment and trails and landscaping and fountains in Dixpark. It's kind of the first out of the ground project. So all of the fundraising right now is kind of geared toward that project. So that funding will come as a combination of philanthropy dollars. I can never say that word, philanthropy dollars, and City of Raleigh taxpayer dollars will come together to fund that project. So our conservancy partners are really focusing on now and reaching out to the community and asking the community to give gifts to support that. Here in Cary, you've probably heard of the downtown Cary Park that's being built. There's going to be some similar aspects between the two parks, not intentionally. We just saw their plans, we're like, ooh. So one of the things we're really proud of at the Play Plaza project is we're going to be bringing in play equipment from overseas. So it'll be play equipment that we don't normally see in North Carolina. It's going to be by a manufacturer in Germany, actually, that will be bringing in brand new state-of-the-art equipment that will just provide a different experience. Because we already have so many wonderful playgrounds in our areas. We wanted to think about how can we do something different. So that project is slated to be out of the ground, complete in summer 2024. So that's really the focus in the park right now. So, any other questions? Matt, I think we're over our time. Okay. So I apologize.
Joseph and Greg, we thank you first of all for sharing and educating us also. And we have a gift for you, for each of you. This is from our resident artist, Jerry Miller.
Oh, thank you.
Note cards from Cary Rotary Club. Thanks for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Charlie. And thank you, Joey and Troy, for sharing what's undoubtedly a year's worth of work that gets rushed into several weeks of enjoyment. So thank you for all of your efforts. And so that puts us in a holiday spirit, doesn't it? To think about. If that doesn't get you, go ahead down to Lowe's or Home Depot. There's lots of Christmas decorations that are already up. But we've got our own holiday plans that we need to be aware of. And so mark the date, save the date, December 7th, Tuesday, December 7th at Prestonwood Country Club will be the annual Cary Rotary Club Holiday Extravaganza. If you've ever been to an event that Renee has organized and hosted, you know that you don't want to miss this event. So there'll be more specific information to come. Am I building it up? I want to keep building it up here, Renee, keep building it up. But mark out that date, there'll be more information to come. The other calendar item that you want to be thinking about and planning for is the annual Salvation Army bell ringing. We have historically brought home the prize for the highest fundraising, and I know Ernie Faulkner would kick me if I didn't say, and Gary Ashworth as well, would kick me if I didn't say we need to retain that top spot. So we have allocated 8 dates in December where we will be the bell ringers at the Walmart at Kildare. So mark down December 8th, 9th, and 10th, and December 20th through the 24th, Monday through Friday, the 20th to the 24th. Your very own Cary Rotary Club will be staffing that bell ringing station. It's an opportunity for us to be in the community, do some great service, and have a lot of fun, hear some music. And I know that there are pairings that go back decades that ring together. And so I think that is just fantastic. So more to come, and sign up geniuses and all of the technology.
Would you check the weather forecast for those days?
We've allocated little crisp for holiday spirit, but not too cold to keep feet from stamping. Yes,
Also
sir.
registered for the gifting tree project.
So we'll be decorating a tree on Academy Street in downtown. Start sometime at the end of February. What's that?
Downtown Cary.
Downtown Cary, what did I say?
Rob,
Oh.
Joey's gonna sign us up to do a tree in the tree. Yep, so that'll be another, one of our annual events, so there'll be an opportunity to decorate and break down. Too. So, fantastic, so have a great holiday. I do want to, again, recognize some special dates that are coming up over the next several days. On the 28th of October, which is Thursday, wish a happy birthday to Bob Hatley and also Sally Shaver. Sally, online, happy birthday on the 28th. On the 29th, Dr. Konigsberg, there's Charles. Is Charlie still on? He may have dropped off, but he was with us online earlier today. Then we've got some member anniversaries on the 30th, which I guess is Saturday. Mary Cam will be celebrating her 20th anniversary as a Rotarian here in Cary. John Ogle on November 1st, next Monday, will be 35 years a Cary Rotarian. And Don Stevenson also on that date, 36 years with our club. So congratulations to all of those folks, none of which are with us today. And then, you know, I guess Don likes to bundle these things together because he and Patty will be celebrating a wedding anniversary on October 27th. So this was a great week in the history of the Stevenson household, it looks like. Next week's program, Paul Sossman has our program again with Julie Henry, who's the Director of Marketing and Communications for AmeriHealth Caritas, which is a company that specializes in managed Medicaid programs. Next week's meal is anybody's guess. Waldorf salad, see, I guess Waldorf means you have nuts in it, right? Is that what makes it a Waldorf salad? I hope it was good. In 2 weeks, Sheila Saya, who's the Associate Director of the North Carolina State Climate Office, courtesy of Pat Hudson, will join us with a talk on the relationship between humans, climate, and water resources. So stay tuned for that program. Thank you, Elizabeth, for joining us today. Thank you, Troy. Thank you, Joey, for sharing your program. We're delighted to have you with us. And now, if I can, I'll call on Pat Hudson to lead us out in the four-way test.
Of the things we think, say, and do, is
The truth. Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you, guys.
Hope you're doing well. Hey, Bob.